One Piece has absolutely smashed it when it comes to the ratings and the audience reviews, beating hit shows like Wednesday with its total viewers and smashing all Netflix records. However, not everyone seems to be happy with the show just as it is, because critics have come out and tried to attach politics and diversity to the show by posting articles claiming Monkey D. Luffy is gay.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Even though throughout the entire series they never once mention sexual orientation, and from what I've seen so far, he never once has any romantic interest. And so I don't really understand why this is a topic of conversation when it comes to this show, because there's nothing wrong with him actually being gay, of course that's fine. However, when they don't talk about it throughout the entire series, you would think that when you're reviewing the show or when you're talking about the show, you wouldn't bring it up. I don't see why you would bring up something that's not even related to this series. If they never mention him being gay, why do you even want to talk about his sexual preference? It doesn't really make sense to me, because it seems like so many critics and so many media outlets continue to come out and bring in a political conversation into every single movie and every single series, and they use it as a way to attack the series. Because when a show doesn't mention sexual orientation, they will then talk about it and act as if this would make the show better, and attack the show for not being diverse enough because it doesn't highlight his sexual preference. When not every show needs to be about someone's sexual orientation, sometimes the point of the show is the plot, and that's what people are there to watch. They're there to see him on his quest for the One Piece. I don't understand why they think it would be better for them to talk about his sexual orientation throughout the show, and I also don't understand why they even brought it up in the first place and are writing articles about it. Because what they're doing here is making another show a ground for a political debate. And when it comes to a show like One Piece, that is just so silly. Because One Piece is such a diverse show, but it honestly comes across as a breath of fresh air that they don't force down your throat how diverse this show is. They just cast it diversely, wrote a diverse series, and then didn't talk about it. And that is so good. And so this show is everything that diversity in Hollywood is striving for, yet even when it comes out, people aren't happy with how little they talk about gender politics or how little they're talking about it in interviews, that they try and drum up some sort of political debate online. It just doesn't make sense to me, and I just don't understand why the storytelling business has to be grounds for political debate, and why they try and turn a show like One Piece into a debate over who's gay and who's not within the show. I mean, what's the point? Why not talk about the actual series? Because the show as itself and the story as itself is incredible. It is such a good show. It honors the source material in such a great way, so I don't understand why they want to talk about anything other than the fact that this is a good show. Talk about the story, talk about the plot, talk about the amazing performances delivered by all the actors, talk about the incredible special effects for a series, talk about the incredible cinematography and the colors that have come along with this show. Why bring up politics at all when all it's going to do is spark a debate and take away from the fact that this show is really good? And in this article, are they trying to claim that Monkey D. Luffy should be gay and that the show isn't as good as it could have been if he was gay? Because honestly, his sexual orientation doesn't impact this show any way, shape, or form. And so it's pointless to add to the story, and so it's pointless to talk about it. And like I said, One Piece is extremely diverse, and that is great to see. And that should be the industry standard that they're striving for. But when you make it the industry standard, that means that when you do it, you have to treat it as standard. You have to treat it as normal and something that you should be doing. And One Piece has done that by not talking about it at all. They just cast a diverse show and then didn't talk about it, didn't throw down your throat how diverse and how good they are for casting a diverse show, because they treated it as a standard. However, media outlets seem to want to come out and say that it needs to be more diverse because they need to cast gay characters or try and drum up a political debate around the show, when that's just ridiculous, because this show did exactly what every single show and every single movie in Hollywood is striving to do, and that's tell a good story with a diverse casting crew and actually make it entertaining and smash it out of the ballpark with the ratings and actually deliver a good product for the audience and the original fan base of One Piece. And I just wish these media outlets would actually talk about the most important topic to come out of this show, which is how great it is that they honored the source material and the importance of honoring source material.
Was there any pressure bringing this beloved graphic novel to life?
Yeah, of course there was pressure. We want to honor the fans of One Piece and Ichiro Oda.
Because this show has been wildly successful at a time where so many live-action remakes aren't successful. We've seen so many live-action remakes from many other studios absolutely flop because they changed the source material. But by this show honoring where it came from, by this show honoring the original fan base of One Piece, they were able to deliver a product that succeeded beyond their wildest imaginations. And that's because they stayed true to the audience and they delivered a product that the audience want to see. And that should be what these media companies are talking about. It is so pointless to talk about whether or not Monkey D. Luffy is gay. Why not talk about the fact that this show honored the source material and made a lot of money and has ridiculously high ratings, ridiculously high audience scores, and when you compare that to many other live-action remakes as of late, which have absolutely flopped, you can see why talking about the benefits of honoring the source material should be the conversation when it comes to this show. And honestly, it's just so sad to see that the Hollywood industry has become an industry that puts politics over story, and in so many movies, so many remakes, you see them put their politics and their ideological beliefs in front of telling a good story.
Here's the thing, Bruce. I'm great at controlling my anger. I do it all the time. When I'm catcalled in the street, when incompetent men explain my own area of expertise to me, I do it pretty much every day, because if I don't, I will get called emotional or difficult, or might just literally get murdered. So I'm an expert at controlling my anger because I do it infinitely more than you.
And media companies are doing this now, and critics are doing this now. Every single show, every single movie seems to mainly be critiqued on its politics rather than the actual quality of the story. And shows and movies can be political, and One Piece is political at times, but it puts story first, and that's why this show has been so successful. Because honestly, I don't care what your political opinions are, I don't care what political beliefs a movie or a show is pushing, but if they put politics in front of story, if they seem to focus more on political ideas over focusing on the story, that's when they lose me, because that's not what the Hollywood industry was built for. You're in the storytelling business, you're in the storytelling industry, so focus on story. And same goes for these critics, same goes for these media companies out there. They should also focus on story. So fine, speculate about whether or not Monkey D. Luffy is gay, that's fine, but don't make that the headline. Make the headline about the show, make the headline about the actual story and the quality of this series, and then talk about it within the article. But it seems that every single show and every single movie has to be this battleground for a political debate. But what are your thoughts on One Piece? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you liked the video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all on my next video.